You know that woman who walks into a room and everyone discreetly looks at her. It's not because she's wearing expensive clothes. It's not because she has a perfect body. It's because she knows some styling tricks that we simply don't learn anywhere. And look, I spent years feeling out of place, thinking elegance was something for people born rich or who had personal stylists, until I discovered there's a math behind all of this. Today, I'm going to show you 6 tricks that will make other women look at you and think, wow, what an elegant woman, without even knowing why. So stay with me until the end, because each of these tricks will completely transform how you dress. Trick 1. Use the rule of thirds. Let's start with the trick that will literally make you look 2 inches taller. And no, it's not high heels. It's pure math. You know that thing about wearing your top untucked, letting it fall exactly at mid-hip? Well, that's destroying your elegance. When you do this, you're cutting your body 50-50, half torso and half legs. And what happens? Visually, you look shorter, wider, and lose all that lightness we want so much. Now comes the secret that the chicest women in the world use, the rule of thirds. Your body needs to be divided into 1/3 on top and 2/3 on the bottom. You can tuck the front of your shirt into high-waisted pants or wear a belt marking your waist well. The effect of this is almost magical. When you create this illusion of legs much longer than your torso, your silhouette gains an aristocratic lightness. Other women will look you up and down thinking, she has such a proportional body, without realizing you just moved a shirt. I did this test with a friend last week. She was wearing a beautiful top, but the traditional way, untucked. So I asked her to tuck just the front part into her pants. The difference was insane. She looked like 10 years younger and seemed about 3 inches taller. So if you like this tip and want to learn more tricks like this, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell, because I post content like this every week. Trick 2, the texture trick. Now comes a mistake I see every day and that you probably also make without realizing it. Have you ever tried to do that monochromatic look, all black or all beige, thinking it would be super elegant, but when you looked in the mirror, it felt like a uniform? Yeah, I've been through that 1,000 times. The problem isn't the single color. The problem is using identical matte fabrics from start to finish. The secret of truly chic women is mixing opposite textures within the same color family. You need to combine matte with shine, heavy with light. For example, a chunky knit sweater with a smooth satin skirt. You know what happens when you do this? The human eye travels through the richness of materials. Women will think, I don't know why, but her clothes seem to have cost a fortune, even if you bought everything at a department store. I remember once I wore an all-cream look, but I combined a ribbed knit top with a slightly shiny pleated skirt. Guys, I got more compliments that day than when I wore an expensive party dress. Trick 3, the noble skin reveal. This one's controversial, but it completely changed how I dress. We grew up hearing that to be feminine and sensual, you need to wear low necklines or short clothes. And look, in some settings, it even works. But in more sophisticated environments, this creates the completely opposite effect. The secret is in covering the obvious and revealing the noble zones of the mature female body. And what are these zones? The wrists, the neck, with that little hollow at the base, and the ankles. These are the body parts that transmit elegance without seeming vulgar. When you push up the blazer sleeves to the forearm, or open just one extra button on a silk shirt, letting that little hollow show, you project an intelligent femininity that's extremely confident. It's that elegance that doesn't need to shout to be noticed. I tested this at a work dinner last month. While other women were in defined necklines and tight dresses, I was in a white shirt with 2 buttons open, tailored pants, and rolled up sleeves, showing a delicate watch on my wrist. The number of people who came to talk to me, thinking I was someone important, was surreal. So tell me in the comments, had you noticed this thing about noble zones, or did you always think you needed to show more to be feminine? Trick 4, the yin-yang contrast theory. This trick here is for you who either looks too childish when dressed up or too masculine and can't find the middle ground. The mistake most people make is going to extremes. Either you put on a 100% romantic look full of lace, ruffles, floral print, and ballet flats all together, which ends up aging or infantilizing you. Or you go the other way and wear a boxy suit with closed shoes that completely hides your feminine strength. The technique is always combining a rigid, masculine tailored piece with an element of extreme feminine delicacy. For example, a super structured blazer with a silk blouse underneath, or straight tailored pants with a delicate pointed toe pump. The effect of this is mesmerizing. The woman who masters this contrast becomes magnetic. It's the look of that that woman who doesn't ask permission to enter, but everyone opens the door for her to pass. I discovered this the worst way possible. I had a super important meeting and decided to wear a full suit to look more serious, but when I got there, I felt so washed out. At the next meeting, I wore the same blazer, but with a satin blouse underneath and feminine pumps. The difference was night and day. If you're enjoying these tips, subscribe to the channel now because I'm going to post more content like this, and hit the bell so you don't miss any videos. Before we move on to the next trick, have you ever had that awful feeling of opening your closet and feeling like you have absolutely nothing to wear? To solve this, I created a guide where I show how, with just 15 pieces, you can create more than 150 elegant looks. These are combinations that make people turn their heads to look at you. Inside, you'll also discover techniques to look visually slimmer and taller, plus specific styling tricks to soften fuller arms, wider hips, or a more generous bust. The link to download the guide is in the pinned comment and in the description. Now let's move on to the next trick. And if you're watching on TV, just scan the QR code that appears on the screen or in the corner of the video. Trick 5. Try the monochromatic wealth look. Now I'm going to show you a complete look that applies the texture trick and the rule of thirds all at once. For the top, you're going to wear a soft knit sweater or a fine wool top, could even be cashmere if you have it, in off-white, that cream or butter color. This is the matte and heavy element of the look. For the bottom, a fluid satin midi skirt in the exact same cream or champagne color. This is the shiny and light element. And now comes the execution. You tuck just the front part of the sweater into the waistband of the skirt. Look how perfect. You just created the rule of thirds, elongating your legs. And at the same time, the mix of rustic knit with smooth satin creates that visual richness that mesmerizes. For accessories, wear a pump or slingback, that shoe with the open heel that reveals the ankle in nude, and a structured caramel bag. This look is absurdly chic, and you can put it together with pieces you probably already have in your closet. I wore a variation of this to a daytime wedding, and 3 people asked me if I had a stylist. Trick 6. Try the magnetic executive look. Now comes the moment I promised at the beginning. The look that explains why that woman seems so powerful, even wearing simple pieces. It's the perfect application of the yin-yang theory and noble skin. For the outer piece, the masculine yang, a perfectly shoulder-structured tailored blazer in navy blue. That deep blue, you know? Color of power, color of authority. Inside, the feminine yin, a light silk blouse with a subtle V-neck in white or pearl. This neckline will reveal the neck and that little hollow with extreme class. Nothing excessive, just enough. And for the bottom piece, straight-cut tailored pants, also in navy blue. You just created a deconstructed suit. But here comes the detail that makes all the difference. You're going to pull up or roll the navy blazer sleeves to the forearm, leaving the wrist completely exposed, that noble skin we talked about, and add a classic gold watch on that wrist. For accessories, pointed toe loafer or pump-in caramel. You know why this look attracts so many looks. Navy blue is the color of power. Tailoring commands immediate respect. Everyone takes you seriously right away. But the white silk and exposed wrists return an unattainable femininity. It's the perfect balance. It's the look of the woman who commands the room. Simple as that. Trick 7. Try the look, the French woman. And now comes the cherry on top. The look that unites all 4 codes we talked about today in a casual but absurdly chic visual. It's literally the recipe for French elegance. For the top piece, a classic button-down shirt in Pima cotton, in light blue, that delicate baby blue. For the bottom piece, high-waisted palazzo pants in coffee brown, that deep chocolate. The trick execution, you're going to leave the first 2 buttons of the shirt open, revealing the noble skin of the décolletage, and tuck the shirt completely into the coffee brown pants, creating that rule of thirds that completely elongates the silhouette. The yin-yang touch? The palazzo pants and button-down shirt have a more masculine structure, so you balance it with a thin coffee brown leather belt with gold buckle and a brown or nude pointed toe pump to bring the feminine back. You know why this look attracts so many looks? The combination of light blue with coffee brown is one of the most sophisticated palettes in the world. It's rarely used by ordinary women because we don't think of this combination, you know? But when you see it, you never forget it. With the waist in the right place and the décolletage illuminated, other women will wonder how you managed to look so elegant wearing just a shirt and pants, but you'll know the secret. And don't forget, you don't need a closet full of clothes to be elegant. You just need strategy. If you want to learn how to turn 15 pieces into over 150 elegant looks, the link to my complete guide is right below in the pinned comment. Download it and stop struggling in front of the mirror. And if you're watching on TV, just scan the QR code that appears on the screen or in the corner of the video. The truth is that elegance isn't about having a lot of money or a giant wardrobe. It's about knowing these secret codes that transform simple pieces into sophisticated looks. It's about understanding the rules of the game and using them to your advantage. And look, if you made it this far, subscribe to the channel because I'm going to keep bringing these tricks that nobody tells you. Hit the bell so you don't miss any new videos. Now tell me, which of these looks are you dying to put together? The monochromatic wealth, the magnetic executive, or the French woman? Comment below because I want to know which one suits you best. And in the next video, I'm going to show you the 5 shoe mistakes that are destroying even the best look. Believe it or not, there's a type of shoe that literally cuts your legs in half. Yeah, and you probably have one in your closet right now. Big kiss and see you in the next video.